Hi, I'm Mark Evans.
And I'm Anya Evans.
And you guys have taken over the Ginger Hall, the famous Ginger Hall. So how's it been? What's the process been like and how much work goes into it?
Well, it's been a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be early days, because we've had quite a bit of work to do in the cellar, behind the bar, things you wouldn't normally see. So that's been a lot of work into that. And the floor, we've spent a long time sanding and varnishing the floor. So it's been quite a lot, and then all of the administration side of things has taken up quite a bit of time as well. But we're only 2 weeks into it, and as we just had to shut to make sure we've got everything right, and then we should be ready to open shortly.
And how did it come about? So how have you managed to be the new landlord and landlady of the Ginger Hall?
Almost by accident, really. I think Ben, who was here previously, we talked about doing different things in town maybe, and he'd asked me that when he was ready to finish up, he asked me if I'd be interested in taking over, and yeah.
And you jumped at the opportunity?
I did, yeah, I did. Took a lot of thought, really, once I'd had the initial excitement, but I think, it was definitely something we wanted to do, yeah.
And you mentioned the floor, different things like that, the cellar. How much work would you say, once you've got it all up and running, how much work will it take to get maybe the locals on side, as we mentioned earlier? How much will it take for things like that?
Yeah, well, we got a really great core of locals in the village. They're very attached to the pub, and people from a little bit further out are as well. So I think the main thing is we haven't wanted to change an awful lot within the fabric of the inside of the building. We've kept it as it's been mostly. We've done a little bit of put a bit of different colour in there, and we changed a couple of pictures around, but mainly mostly everything's very much as it was.
Yeah. And what's your involvement been? So obviously that you're both very busy, it looks like, when we arrived. So what do you guys do? Do you guys work well together, would you say?
Yes, we do. Yeah, I'm sort of more design, colour, organisation. Mark's sort of the workhorse and the admin.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah. And have you got any big plans maybe for the future of the Ginger? So have you got any things you think might change in the upcoming future? Any big plans?
Yeah, we have. We've got big plans, really. So we've, the bar is the bar, and that's our sort of core business. But the restaurant is something we really want to bring up, and do something in there. We want to do a sort of traditional pub grub type offering. All of the rooms are going to be refurbished, and that'll take some time, be one by one. But we'd like to hope that we could be ready in time for next year's TT, so people staying here then have got a slightly upgraded room. And then we want to develop the hospitality further, building on what Ben has done. We've got a great outdoor space here to make something of as well. So again, Ben used it he had some weddings and other things on here. So we'd like to sort of develop that further as well.
And some would say the industry's struggling, obviously, with since COVID and things like that, and maybe less people are coming to the pub. It's getting more and more expensive. How are you going to drag people in? How do you think you're going to... So obviously Sulby, you've got your core locals. How are you going to get people coming from the rest of the island to come to the Ginger? What's the...
I think the plan there really is to keep a similar thing that has been before with music on. So there's a good reputation for live music at the pub. We're going to definitely keep that on. Maybe not as often, because some of the locals prefer to have be here in the afternoon, early evening, and just want to sit and have a chat. So we'll pare that down a little bit. Maybe have something on once a week or once a fortnight, and then as we go on, just beer at decent beer at a decent price, and try and build the atmosphere up.
I'm sure the locals will be happy to hear that. Cheap beer for good prices, yeah.
I didn't say cheap.
Yeah, that's true. And we can't talk about the Ginger Hall without mentioning, obviously, the TT, the Manx Grand Prix coming up. How big is that for you guys? Obviously, you're going to be opening on Friday. If that's all goes to policy. So how big do you think them events going to be, do you think, for this pub?
Yeah, well, the Grand Prix is a good test for us, really, because straight into it. But it wasn't designed that way. It was so that we just wanted to get any major work we wanted to do in the cellar and behind the bar out of the way and open up. It just so happened that it was 2 weeks running up to the Grand Prix, so we want to make sure that we're, you know, absolutely ready for visitors for that. And then obviously for TT next year, we've got, you know, further plans for the hospitality offering, and you know, it'll be quite exciting leading up to that. Really see what we can do and develop it further.
Absolutely. And finally, you said you've not really been in the pub industry before. Is that scary, or is that more of an optimistic and you're excited, or?
A mix of both, really. Yeah, I think there's definitely some apprehension there regarding you know, what I can bring to the business, really. But I think, you know, I'm a fairly sort of easygoing, genial person, so I see my role as keeping everybody, you know, all of the customers happy, really, while we've got a great staff behind the bar to carry on serving them, keeping everyone filled up with beer.
Yeah, that's all you want. And you've got a bit of experience that you did mention, didn't you?
I've worked in bars and pubs, you know, previously, but our daughter's worked here for about 18 months as well, so she'll be staying on to work around the bar.
Yeah, and most of the staff are staying, you said, almost all of the staff?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Robson's still staying?
Yeah.
Robson's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have got a really good core staff, and you know, they're happy that we're carrying on as we are, so yeah, should be good.
Well, good luck with it all. I'm sure I'll be up here for a beer very soon.
Let's hope so, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.